What's up, guys? How we doing? Welcome. We are returning to Daggerfall today. I wanted to do a little bit of an update to the guide. I beat the game a couple of times since I made the first guide, so really what I want to do is just kind of update it, and take all that stuff that I learned before, weigh it against what I've learned, and kind of see how that goes and see what I can make for you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Word on the street is that high elves are immune to paralyzing poisons and spells, so that's going to be good for us. So we're going to take that. Doesn't really matter which gender, we'll just do a male for whatever reason. So what we do is create a custom class. We create a custom class every time. Always a custom class. I maintain that you're going to want to pick like your favorite weapon up front, right? So pick whatever weapon you're going to want up front. If you pick a one-hander, you're going to be able to use a shield. And by one-hander, I mean like short blade. Pretty much all short blades are going to be one hand. Some long blades are going to be one hand, but some are going to be two hands. So with that being said, one-hander, you can hold a shield, you can hold a lantern. It just kind of all depends on what you want to do. I am thinking we do long blade for this, just because you can get some pretty good damage pretty quickly. And then what are we going to take for this second one here? I'm thinking that we take restoration, because what I've learned is that restoration really helps. I'm going to be healing all the time, and you're going to want restoration. You're going to want your spells to be hitting. You're going to want them to be not landing, if that makes sense. Okay, so for our third one here, we are going to take something that we can level up kind of like actively instead of like passively, right? So I would say something like another weapon skill for like a backup, or perhaps destruction. We are absolutely going destruction, because late game you're going to want to be able to cast a wildfire spell, which is a destruction spell. It's a dot and it kills liches like pretty well. For these ones here, I like to take, where's it at? Medical. Medical's a good one to have. What medical does is when you rest, it determines how quickly you kind of get your health and magicka back up there. All right, so we're going to take a critical strike here. And then for the third one, we're going to take running, because we're always going to be running. So these are going to help us level up pretty decently here. These are going to be ones that we can actively be leveling up. And then for the minors, so let's talk minors here. I like to go etiquette and streetwise. Etiquette is for talking politely, and you have to talk politely to nobility. Streetwise is for talking bluntly. Talking blunt works better with common folk. And then, so for the third one here, we're going to take mercantile. Everybody likes better prices. And those three are going to help, because we're going to take a little bit from luck in the beginning here. We're going to take mysticism and thaumaturgy, so that we can be covered with the rest of the spells we're going to use for the game. And then for the last one here, what should it be? Should we go jumping? We could always kind of be jumping and leveling. That could be good. Stealth could be good as well. I feel like stealth is always being leveled up. We're going to go jumping. And so this is what it's going to look like here. This is what the skills are going to be that I recommend for kind of like a get to the end game playthrough here. So for attributes here, we are going to take some from personality. We can go actually all the way down to 40 here. We're going to take 5 from luck, and we're going to pump speed. What else can we take? Agility. We could take some willpower and some strength. And we're just going to pump speed. We want to be flush with 75 speed. So we'll pump this back into agility here. So pretty much what we're going for is a speed agility build, because speed is going to be like hitting a lot, a lot of tries at hitting. And then agility is going to make us hit more often on our tries, if that makes sense. So this is what it's going to look like here. Don't worry, some of these do look a little bit low. They will go up because we will get some skills to roll with here, right? So let's get into advantages and disadvantages. Advantages. Always increase majory 3 times int in spell points. I always go 3 times int in spell points, which means when you're leveling up and you get more intellect, you will get more spell points, meaning, end game, you can kind of be pumping intellect, making your spell point pool real big. You can eventually be casting those end game spells, and you will be able to cast spells relatively easy at the beginning of the game. We just did advantages. We're going to do disadvantages now. So disadvantages we can kind of load up here. We're going to load up on forbidding an armor type. We're going to forbid leather because I'm not a big fan of leather. It's not going to be good for us end game. It's not the build we're going for. Forbid the leather armor type because I don't prefer to use it. We're going to forbid shields because we're going to end up using two-handers. So we're going to forbid the buckle, the kite, the round, and the tower. And I don't know if you can see, but this little thing right here, this is predetermining the difficulty of, how difficult or not it is to level up. So you can see the meter kind of moving as I add disadvantages or advantages here. So we're going to forbid hand-to-hand because we don't really do that. We're going to forbid orcish because we don't come across a lot of orcish. And if you had noticed, the advantages, they spike your difficulty up, but the disadvantages, they only do little ticks down. So you're going to have to severely outweigh your advantages with disadvantages here. And I think I might have maxed out here. So we're looking good here. We just have to name our class now, right? And so this is going to be the new guy. Get it? The new guy. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to answer 12 important career decisions that will influence our background, right? We don't want to do this fast generating stuff here. So let's get into it. After the School of Restoration, what magic have you been studying the longest? We're going to pick destruction here. What motivates you into a life of adventure? We're going to pick riches. In between formal study, you spent your time, I like to learn economics. Since childhood, I have saved 100 gold pieces. So we're just going to try to stack some early game gold here with that. In gratitude for services rendered, the Emperor gave us, that's going to be the ebony dagger. This dagger is going to be good because if we don't get a decent weapon starting off, this is going to be a decent base damage, as well as we can sell it for decent later as well. As we grew older, we received additional magical training in restoration. Our nickname was Scrapper. We are friendlier than most with, I always just pick a random one. Some of these matter, some of these kind of don't, but I feel like this one doesn't. But it just kind of gives you that little extra boost in like language. I feel like this question does. So of all disagreeable types, you have made the most personal hatred for power mad robber barons, obviously. We are intimate friends with an assassin. I feel like that sounds kind of dangerous. And then what god, if any, do you worship? Let's pick none. And we have the most trouble. I feel like getting along with others is typically what I pick because I'm scared to like not resist poisons, not resist magic, not stay awake, whatever. And then now we just name ourselves, right? We just name ourselves, which is kind of the hardest part if you think about it. Like, I always struggle with the naming portion. I like that. A guide. Thank you, Dottie Bar, for that one. So we're a guide. We'll be like a. Can we do like a dot guide? Like it's our first initial. Look at that. All right. So these are some updated portraits. I do have the dream mod installed. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. So let's pick a portrait real quick. I feel like I liked this one because we get this crazy hair here. All right, so this is where we roll, right? So we're trying to get out of here with over 80 speed. When we roll with 13 points here, this is looking good. Plus we got 60 agility here. We can get 90 speed. So we'll save this roll and then we'll re-roll. When you save roll, you can load roll and then it'll take it back. Every time you re-roll, it changes kind of what it gives you and how much it gives you extra for you to personally spec in there. So we're going to re-roll this one. I like to have at least 11 to 13. So we've got, this one's looking pretty good. 55 here, 55 here. We got 90 speed, 56. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. I think I like what I see here. We got 180 spell points. We got plus the damage. We are looking good. All right, last but not least, they give you like, 6 points between the 3 brackets to kind of disperse where you want them. We'll get the 49s up here, and then we'll get an even 40 on our destruction. That way we can be hitting on that. And then we'll leave long blade low. That way we can kind of level it up. And then that way it'll level us up while we're leveling it up, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? For this bracket, we're going to pump 2 critical strike at that even 20, and then we'll just get medical up there. And it's not really about leveling it up. It's about it being useful to us. For these ones, we're going streetwise and etiquette all the way here. We want to be able to talk to our people, so that's what we're going to do. And so here we go. We're going to go very high reflexes, only because I was doing that last time and it seemed to be working out. But if you're not sure, just go average. So the leveling system is you level up individual skills, and each little tick is like another tick towards your actual level. Looking good, looking good, looking good. All right. Everybody shush. Shh. It's starting. I was here.
400 years after Titus